coming. We're coming.
9 to noon.
I'm here to serve you.
Oh, my. Wasn't that good?
Sorry, KFAN.
Get out of my face with that crazy stuff.
Get out of my face with that crazy stuff.
Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam.
Friday football feast, 9 to noon.
Thinking of those days gone by now. So music in the air.
That's a great setup, Bob.
Was good than it had been. We danced without a
Just listen. Just listen.
There I met you, our closest friends. Whose eyes
Pitch me so I know this is real.
we had come
Oh, it's real. It's the real deal, Holyfield. It's the Friday football feast. Ooh! Listen closely for the sneaky tuba. Hey, what's a good-looking guy like you doing in a place like this? Holy cow. Good to see you, 5-2.
Low snap to Manning on second down. He's out of the shotgun. Another interception. Chad Greenway inside the 20. And it's a touchdown. That's the first National Football League touchdown for Chad Greenway, who also scored one here in the preseason against the Jets. 3 defensive touchdowns today for the Vikings, and the blowout is on.
only bringing pain.
What's a good-looking guy like you doing in a place like this, Chad Greenway? And where you been all my life? Holy cow, I haven't seen you in a year.
My gosh, you look good.
Well, you look better.
Unbelievable.
You look better. Your body fat, what is it, 8?
I don't know. I think I'm down. I might be 7.
Might be 7.
I might be 7. My wife actually looked at me the other day. Yeah, it was good. No, it's good,
I got
man.
a rib pain early in the equation from laughing.
God, I had good energy coming in here. Then Nordo plays a highlight. I thought we were going to get a Buffalo Bills 4th and 20 bit, and no, we got an interception.
No,
We got a
there will be
touchdown.
times for Scott Chandler and Eric Swoops and stuff like
Hey.
that. But I'm trying to pump you up, man.
That's like-
This is midsummer. It's camp. We're reconstructing dreams. We got a QB competition. I
go.
need that energy from 5-2 this morning.
I am in it. Let's go.
Do you guys still have the Gray Duck deck at Target Field?
We do not.
Okay, well, if you did, and those who were there, they probably were frustrated that the team almost got no hit and then was crushing whatever product, then got to celebrate when Cody Clemens dramatically walked off on the Kansas City Royals. Nordo and his daughters were at the game yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you happen to make it to bottom 9 of that boring game that turned a frown upside down? And good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Tell the truth.
It was a brutal fan dad style moment, gentlemen. So it was an unbelievable day there. It was hot. I mean, we were roasting under the sun, but it was a blast, and the girls were loving it until baby Stella gets a bloody nose.
Oh, no.
Bottom 7, bloody nose.
Didn't get a bloody nose in here with Uncle Paul. They were all laps.
No, it was all good times here, but the blood started coming out, so it felt like there weren't enough napkins left at Target Field. Took the girls to the bathroom after 8, and I let them make the decision. I say, "Are we feeling good here?" And they were like, "Dad, we're overheating. We got to go." So I was thinking I beat the traffic, and no, while we were stuck in traffic on 394, Cody Clemens hit that home run, and everybody left there was celebrating and thinking about hopefully enjoying a Gray Duck at some point later in the day.
Yeah, now that we are sans Gray Duck deck and Bomba Juice, you may or may not be watching innings of Minnesota Twins baseball. I know you casually and occasionally will look at social media, but you're not one, Chad Greenway, married to social media, doing as they call doom scrolling. So you may have no idea what we're talking about right now. The beauty of sports, of all sports, all the core 4, but really all sports, transpired yesterday at Target Field. And you got to go back a day before to kind of catch the vibe that encapsulated the Minnesota Twins the next day, Thursday. So the Twins had a pitcher. He used to be an Uber driver. He's of the paunchy variety, nothing special to look at, throws up a bunch of junk, but he's found a way to last in Major League Baseball 6-7 years.
Unreal.
His name's Randy Dobnak. Well, they let him go. He goes to the Kansas City Royals. Nobody cares. Comes here to face his former team at Target Field for the first time. I mean, we're talking a combo of Greg Maddux, Don Sutton, and Wilbur Wood. I mean, they could not touch their former teammate, which creates a negative vibe. Very negative vibe when one you raised and you let leave the nest comes back and eats all the baby eggs. So negative vibe after Wednesday transfers into Thursday. So the Royals got this pitcher named Noah Cameron. Noah Cameron, all right, he ain't the greatest thing in the history of pitching. No hitting the Twins into the 7th inning. I'm convinced because they're still pissed off at the Dobnak thing and they can't get it out of their minds. I'm texting Nordo that middle of the game. I go, you guys are still there, right? Because our guys might get no hit. They can't get past this Dobnak thing, and I swear I know what I'm talking about. Then they get a hit. So then it goes to the bottom of the 9th, 3-0. They got 2 outs, and they're going to lose the game. But then they load the bases, and Roger Clemens' kid, Cody Clemens, crushes a grand slam in the bottom of the 9th. Yeah. They're the wrong side 99.2% of the game. But the beauty of sports, they walk off winners shaking hands.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
Just how it was drawn up, and Nordo was an Eden Prairie on 212. With Charch on the cruise.
I think I saw something where they had trailed in 24 of the 27 innings in that series and somehow still won 2 out of 3.
Unbelievable.
Maybe a season-changing series for the favorite baseball team.
Here's where I'm at, though, baseball-wise. It's just there's so many things going on in the summer. Obviously, I never get a chance to get down there. I do love going to Target Field. Seems like right now there's relatively an easy spot to go get tickets, and that's not a shot. That's just what I've been hearing.
Yeah, Nordo had some good seats. Good seats.
But when I
snuck down,
when I get it on TV or when
use the girls as leverage. Sorry,
when I get it on TV or when I'm watching there and I get to go to a live game, I love it.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things I don't go seek out anymore. I played it growing up. I loved it growing up. Played the old Legion ball, Teener ball in South Dakota in the summers. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
But, man, it's better to play than to watch for me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like golf and baseball live similar life in my world of watching sports.
Can you recall?
If it's on, I'm in. I'm engaged.
I can't, and I generally can, so maybe it's not there. But can you recall a game? So Chad's first-round draft pick guy in 06, first play of the 06 preseason, Raiders, ACL dead. So 07 really is his first year. It's kind of like McCarthy, drafted first round, messed up knees, out for the first year, comes back the next year, which was last year, plays 10 games. People keep erroneously calling it his rookie season, but we understand what they mean. Same thing with Chad. So from 07 through the end of 16, when you retired, can you recall a game where you were losing the whole game? You're not going to win the game. You're the wrong side the whole game, and then you pulled it out at the wire because I can't.
I remember watching, what was it, the comeback on the Bills?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was...
Oh, the Colts?
Colts.
33 zip bit?
Yep. You watch a game like that. Right. I don't remember that I've ever been part of that.
You see, that had to start somewhere to get up to with the touch. So that started third quarter, early fourth. Matt Ryan goes for it. The Jeff Saturday, your guy, the interim coach, goes for it on fourth down with the lanky Matt Ryan. Gets stood up line of scrimmage. Next play, Dalvin. There he goes. 2-point to T.J. Hawkinson. Vikings are going to win the game.
This is like a memory check. This is like a wellness check on PA right here.
But it was building up.
Oh, he's getting there.
This thing yesterday, it's 3-0, bottom 7. Oh, we got a guy on full and this and Josh Bell that and it's dead. It's their 99.2% loser in the game, and Cody Clemens salami.
So the first thing that came to mind on the pitcher, say Dobnak?
Randy Dobnak.
Which is just what a beautiful name. That's got to be a guy who just throws junk. Just never throws a fastball.
Got a beard down to the middle of the sternum. Might weigh 270.
The first thing I thought of was Ravens kicker came back to beat us after we cut him. I can't pull his name though.
Hauschka.
Oh, Stephen Hauschka.
Remember, he came back and had a chance to beat us, but he did at the buzzer in the Metrodome.
Is that with the Ravens?
Ravens.
Wide left.
We won that. We were pounding them that game. They come back at the end.
Put an L on Berkey.
And then all of a sudden.
I think you put an L on Berkey,
Of course we
didn't
did. Held me the whole game, and he's listening too. You know you did. You know Berkey's listening
he's
right
on the
now.
sideline. They're going to win the game. He's like, look at 65 over there, that squatty center. They didn't want me for that squatty John Sullivan.
So he's just taking shots this morning.
He went to Notre Dame. I went to Harvard.
Harvard.
Do you have to go back to maybe when there were leather on helmets to look at a game like that? Because isn't the flow different? I mean, in football, like you said, the greatest comeback had to start in the third quarter. So the momentum, you could feel that pendulum swinging a little bit. Yesterday, man, if my kids weren't so excited to be there, I would have left in the freaking fourth. It was so dead.
And then I harshed your mellow into bottom six saying, stay. These guys might get no hit.
I know.
I mean, I watched like 2 innings of it, and they weren't close.
History is history, though, right?
And we're pulling for the Twins, and Ava and Stella and the Nordquist family are pulling for the Twins. But if you have a chance to see a no-hitter, no matter who throws it, you got to be there for it.
I was in, and then Jeffers broke it, I think, in the 7th with the first hit. And, of course, we just start chopping them around and easily get out of that inning. It's ridiculous, But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the beauty, I guess, lower scoring game. I think it's called an ultimate grand slam, in fact, specifically when you're down 3, 2 outs, bottom of 9. Yeah.
Oh, we got a new name.
I love that.
Sounds like it'd be good for the Twitch machine.
There's I always just, every time I talk Twins, it takes me back to 91. I was 8, and in the 83 gray Ford Tempo. And
you're driving today.
Andy Diner. No, I was riding. Andy Diner, my buddy, and his dad, Dave. We came up. That was our first time to Twin Cities, first time leaving South Dakota, and we came to watch a Twins game. Played the California Angels in the Metrodome. I remember exactly where I sat. I remember a foul ball coming within about 10 rows. Thought that was cool, even to get close. And I just can't. Like, that memory is so vivid of my childhood. And I remember coming over, or the hill in Burnsville where you can see Minneapolis. And I was like, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And stayed right down by the
big
Metrodome.
Buildings.
Yeah, big buildings.
Honestly, right?
Oh my God, it was massive. I mean, my town has 400 people in it. I mean, we have the farmers' elevator is the biggest thing we got.
Cars whipping around, Twin Cities driving.
Turns out drivers haven't gotten any better since '91.
What you just said is what popped in my mind is with our chapel ministry outreach program at Canterbury Park. One of the big events we will do during the summer is something for all the kids who live on the backside. Now, I'm not going to spend 10 minutes going through the context of their lives, but these families with the grooms and those who work on the backside, and they work with the horses. They could be outriders. They live in dorms on the backside. And when Canterbury's over in mid-September, a fair amount of them will go to Turf Paradise in Arizona. Some will go to, New Orleans. They'll just, the horse strings will go to the next spot.
Right.
Now, a lot of these kids and a lot of these families don't have cars. All right. And they live on the backside at the racetrack. So a couple of Wednesdays ago, as, with the ministry and the money that we take in, we like to spend every penny of it on those who work on the backside. So there were 37 kids. All right. And again, just keep in context what you said about when you drove north on 35, came over the hill, saw the big buildings.
Yeah.
So we arranged for a bus to pick them up at the backside of Canterbury and take them to Shields, thanks to a dear friend of mine,
Love Shields,
a great benefactor to our ministry, Tim Siegley, the owner of all the First Resource banks. You've met Tim.
I have.
Basically, it was spare no expense. So we made available all these kids could get shoes at $150 or less.
Wow.
Now, you got some kids pushing the envelope. That's fine. We dealt with it, stuff like that. But here's where this story is analogous to what you said. Is these kids, as I saw, well, they don't go to Shields. They don't go to Mall of America. They don't go to Minneapolis. They don't see the big buildings. They don't get to see all of the things that I guess occasionally we may take for granted that are they're just life for us. It's just right around the corner. We got nothing to do, Ava and Stella. Let's go walk around Shields and look at the shoes Ferris and the colors and the Ferris wheel and stuff like that. Because those kids, You know, a lot of these kids who live on Backside USA at Canterbury, they walked in there like they stopped and lost their breath. Mm-hmm. It was like, holy cow, I've never seen anything like that. I mean, some of them were teenagers.
Yeah, and gratitude probably comes from them too,
big
which is
time.
the best part.
So it reminded me of that, where we're all in the same fishbowl but under different rocks. But we just the blessings of life that we have that we overlook or take for granted, not purposely. Mm-hmm. It's just our lives that God has chosen to give us. That's not the case for everybody, as I witnessed a couple of Wednesdays ago when these kids were like, I almost don't know what to do in here.
Yeah, it was funny.
It was beautiful.
I think back to like what it took for my dad to drive up from there to, to fund it, to find the hotel, because that was just a different world back then, right? Mm-hmm. Not as connected, getting the hotel room, getting the whole thing, driving up and doing it. And he had never been up there before to do it. So that was pretty cool. And then actually it was at Canterbury last night, the new amphitheater.
Oh, you went to Stapleton.
Stapleton.
Alec Lewis was there, too.
Elite.
Yeah, it was his second night. He plays again tonight. And what I did last night when I left the racetrack about 9:15.
I heard you calling over there.
Because I didn't have tickets. So I drove to the backside by where the Canterbury Chapel is and pulled off to the side. And you can hear it. And I don't know any Chris Stapleton songs outside of Tennessee Whiskey, but got a lot of respect for the man's voice. And, I mean, they, because my binoculars from the Vox box go right into the amphitheater.
Yep.
At 6:30, he must have gone on about 9, right?
Yeah, probably right 9. Yep.
I mean, at 6:30, I don't know what the opening act situation looked like. There were at least 2,000 people in there 2.5 hours before the show.
It was stacked deep last night. A guy named Alan Stone opened it. Has the funkiest dude I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, my guy Daryl Hall gave Alan Stone his start.
No way.
15-ish, 20-ish years ago, something like that.
That's a cool story. It was good. It was a good time last night. That place is really cool and a great place to see a concert.
Right.
I mean, I love the outdoors. It was perfect.
Right. So there's one massive speaker that faces the Canterbury backside by our chapel. So I'm either over there like watering flowers or picking weeds or getting things set up. And I will hear, like I heard Hillary Duff doing her sound check over the weekend. And you can hear it pretty well. Now, when the crowd's in there, you can't hear it as well because the crowd's loud. So I pulled over for about 15, 20 minutes, listened to a song and a half. I mean, my man Flack can sing. That's the only way to put it. Holy cow. He must back off that microphone and just project and belt with those notes.
I wanted him to open with the national anthem. Because remember when he sang the national anthem for the Super Bowl?
No.
It was what? 3? You remember this? It was about 3 years ago.
No. Yeah, I'll find it.
It was the most.
Was it good?
It's still the best one I've ever heard.
Have you
Unbelievable.
Heard Whitney at Raymond James?
Whitney is elite. I have heard that. Yeah. Obviously not live.
That was a good one.
Whitney was elite.
Stapleton's the boss.
Stapleton was unreal. I'm like, just to open with this, and a bald eagle's going to fly. I mean,
in 2026, that'd be so beautiful if he did that.
Come on,
right?
Or finish with it. Have your beer encore.
Yeah. Tennessee Whiskey encore.
Oh, he sang it at U.S. Bank Stadium, didn't he?
He did.
I think it was Super Bowl 52.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, one of the
it's been more recent than that.
With the YouTube machine, and given probably my number one or two hobby is when I have time watching live music on YouTube and just like searching whatever live. Well, years ago, I came across Chris Stapleton and Justin Timberlake at the Country Music Awards.
I know the duet you're talking about.
And so Stapleton's doing his bit. It's got the lady there. Might be his wife, no idea. But she could sing.
Yep.
I mean, so I'm like, okay, this is cool. Boy, I wasn't super familiar with him. Holy cow, what a voice. And then Justin Timberlake comes sliding in this black tuxedo, and he's doing the Tennessee Whiskey. It's one of my favorite live music performances on YouTube that I've ever seen.
One of those duets you don't know that would work, and all of a sudden it just nails it perfectly. Yeah. But because
it's a Stapleton crowd there.
Yeah.
And Timberlake comes in with the falsetto, and all the belt buckles go crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, Timberlake can just be anything, and he's ridiculous.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
I've seen it 100%. Like last night, I'm singing along to songs, and like, sometimes he just hits something. I'm just going to let him do that one. Even I'm sitting in my seat, singing to myself. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? You cover that one, bud.
That was cool.
I can't get there.
Hey, two of your dear friends, former teammates, Eric Hendricks and Anthony Barr, they're doing a cool podcast called Bent Out of Shape. Do you think they'll ever ask you to be a guest?
I mean, I'm because they had Eric Wilson on yesterday. I'm upset about what you just brought up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why?
Because how am I not number one? First guest, you want to launch a pod?
Yeah.
Have some good content.
Yeah. Well, they played with E-Will.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
No,
E-Will plays now.
I've listened to them. They're doing a great job. I'm loving seeing Anthony's.
Very funny.
I'm loving seeing Anthony's personality come out because
you had to have seen. I'm glad you said that because Barr, quiet, some stoic. I mean, he's one of the leaders of the Captain Cool Covenant with that curly hair. He just never talked that much.
Yeah.
To hear him on this thing cracking jokes and being self-deprecating about how Josh Allen leapt over him in 2018, Anthony's fantastic.
He's really good. It's a great spot for him to show his personality and the kind of the side that we all see in the locker room that nobody else gets to see until you get in there, right? And then all of a sudden Kendricks is bubbly and hilarious and funny and always got something to say. So I'm happy and proud of those guys as always. They're my little brothers, and they are good men. And I would love to be on there at some point.
Rudy told 9 to noon yesterday, there was a day that you shook him down to do a podcast and he said no. Can you confirm or deny? Kyle Rudolph.
Rudolph?
Yeah, he said that you were shaking him down or you were asking him to do a podcast. Shaking him down sounds better for radio.
So this is, probably right around when Kyle retired, and he was trying to figure out what he was going to do. And I was in that mode of like, should I go down this path and do something? Ben had a pod going. It was kind of fun and exciting, something different. Everybody was starting one. I'm like, hey, we should do this. And Kyle was, because he's had a huge social following. He knows everybody. He's the most networked guy I know. Kyle Rudolph is great at making connections. I'm like, let's do this. Let's start a pod. We can do something like that. Never did it. And what'd he say? He wants to start one now?
No, not at all. But we were talking about Barr and Kendricks.
I don't either.
And he's like, well, Chad was shaking me down. Chad asked me to do one.
I was shaking him down 100%.
He said you were shaking him down.
I'm like, come on, dude. You're relevant. Right. You just retired. I'm old and grimy. Like, let's get this thing going. He's like, nah, I'm cool.
Now, speaking of Kyle Rudolph, 9 to noon just concluded something called 10 from 10. It was the 10 greatest year-by-year moments from the Minnesota Vikings during the first 10 years at U.S. Bank Stadium. And we're going to play I think in the third segment today after Charch, we're going to play from 2016 to 2025, each play that won. Now, had we done it for the 2 years at the College Stadium, you definitely would have won in 2015. You know what I mean?
Oh, no doubt about it. Why can't we have one of those?
Here's 3rd and 10 from the Vikings 14. Two receivers.
Look at quick trigger.
Shotgun. Vikings rush 4. Phillip dump over the middle. Ball's batted in the air. Intercepted Chad Greenway. And the veteran turns it up at the 20 to the 30. Greenway is loose. Chad Greenway with a 91-yard touchdown.
91.
Oh, let's go.
91.
Did you have to get on the oxygen after that, or were you good?
Oxygen mid-run.
Yeah. Linval got the idea from you with the scoop and score at Philly.
No, he did. When I'm like halfway through that run, thinking like, your mind's racing, your buddies are all around. The only thing is like, don't get caught. And then you're looking around like, I got a whole team around me. Ain't nobody catching me. And everybody says, man, that took forever. You were slow. I'm like, it was the end of a drive. All right. I was already tired. I had a 91-yard sprint. I'm old. I'm 33 at the time. Come on, give a guy a break.
Chad Greenway, Grey Duck Vodka and Grey Duck Spirits provides us with Chad Greenway 9 to noon. You follow football maybe this time of the year in cursory fashion, but you'll start to ramp it up like the rest of us. But even if you peek at the social media machine for 5 minutes, you can recognize Kyler, JJ, Jailer, Kyler, JJ, JJ, Kyler. From afar at this stage, or maybe you've talked to some people. What do you make of all this?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be a camp that I'm going to wish, is going to be over quickly. And I say that because this conversation with the quarterback and everything is going to just completely consume all of us until something is defined and we move on and we have a decision. And I think all the minutia in the interim is going to be just talking points. And I'd love for him to over-communicate to us where everything's at, and he, of course, is not going to do that. So we just have to live in that world and just break down everything and take people's opinions on how things are going.
Certain people's opinions. And I am going to get a chance to go watch camp a couple of times, which I'm excited about because I think it's fun to go watch something like this with your own eyes on who's getting reps with what kind of play calls are they getting in those moments to get the opportunities, because I think that's something, all right, I'm competing against somebody for a job. And I always thought about this from even a linebacker standpoint or anywhere, any spot, is I might go in and get 3 plays or go get a drive, right? In practice, you're going to get 3 or 4 plays typically, right? And that's going to be your set. You're going to be in, you're going to be out, next group's in. Got it. Okay, well, what am I seeing in those 3 to 4 reps? I might get in a practice or a couple practices, and I'm in a team period, and I might not get any action. I might not get something coming my way. I might, because they're not running their plays to see who's going to win the linebacker position. Right.
Same thing with quarterback. Now you can really control that a lot more, right, coach? But you can't control, in every case, what the defense and what kind of look they're going to do and how they're going to react and how they're going to respond. Now, can I see that quarterback make a decision?
Right.
I think that's the minutia that we'll never understand unless you're all the way in it from a coaching standpoint, knowing, okay, that safety's supposed to do this, the read is here, the ball's got to go there then. And I think that's the stuff that coaches are looking at, that really, those fine points on a tough call like this. And the best thing that could happen here is that JJ pushes this thing all the way to the brink and pushes hard. And how's the fan base going to take it when he wins it?
According to some quasi-respected opinions on the social media machine, if it's a race and they just popped out of the gate, McCarthy grabbed the lead.
That's what I heard.
Now, I was there Wednesday. I was not there yesterday. With respect, I didn't see it exactly the way some other people saw it. I mean, because
you're a great football mind.
Well, it's because I take certain moments in the practice knowing kind of what the down is supposed to be and like what personnel staff is against the other.
That's the minutia stuff that coaches are looking at, though, right? Those are the finer points to say, okay, the decision he made was this because of all these circumstances, things that even an observer on the sidelines, a journalist is watching every practice, maybe not know what to look for.
Well, like the first practice, it was apparent to me that Kyler Murray still very much is trying to get up to speed with this thing. Likewise for McCarthy. I mean, he should and does know more, but starting fast is very important. So if I'm putting like a numerical value on something, okay, completion 1, but first completion of first pass at first training camp practice, off play action on a gotcha to Addison, that gets 3. So you get 3 in your corner right there. So Murray came out. They went under center, play action, turn back on defense. Addison hard cut left sideline against second defense between linebacker and safety, 25-yard hit. Kyler, you get 3 right there. Next play, go to the other side of the field. Not next play, but one of the ones coming up. Now let's show the media, which subsequently is the conduit to the public, but let's show everybody on the team. Kyler can go left hash outside the right numbers with a bullet to Juwan Jennings. Okay, well, that had a little gotcha to it, too. So that gets 2. So now all of a sudden he's run 2, 3, 4 plays. He has 5 points. So then McCarthy comes out, he does something, he gets 1. He does something, he gets 2. He's late on a pass over the middle to Jefferson. Jay Ward never should have jumped in front of it and knocked it away, but he did. Why? Because the third-year kid was late. That's a -1. So that's kind of how I do it.
Yeah, tally.
So I didn't necessarily see like McCarthy winning day 1. I thought I'm not looking at it as wins or losses. I'm just looking and it hasn't fully happened yet, and I can tell that, there's some are getting quite not frustrated or bored or they yawn when they hear me say this because I'm starting to say it a lot. When Murray runs, it's breathtaking. I mean, he has not put the pedal to the metal yet. That'll come in the Ravens' joints. But like in the first practice, he went half speed because it was a half to 3/4 speed practice. Yesterday was faster by design. And like he'd shake on somebody and then they'd get mad and try to run him down full speed. He'd go half speed and they couldn't get close to him. And then I'm watching it in my binoculars and I'm like, this is unbelievable. So then I start diving into it a little bit and I'm like, if things work with Kyler Murray and he ends up staying here the rest of his career, he by far will be the greatest running quarterback in the history of Vikings football. I said that yesterday. Somebody's like, Fran the man on the fan, though. I'm like, okay, well, let's look at the numbers. Tarkenton played like 160 more games at this stage than Murray, and Murray almost has more rushing yards already.
Wow.
So this I'm telling you, I'm going to beat on this until people start seeing what I'm seeing. This is a legitimate high-end offensive threat. When things break down, he's incredibly good at that, willy-nilly. But who's to say they're not going to construct something with that Michigan beefeater Max Bredesen flying like Juszczyk in front of him, just killing the Greenways of the world?
Love that. Do not love that part, but I like your mentality. I like your mindset.
Madison Hedgecock, though.
So, no, thank you. So does Fran, when you think back of Fran, and I, of course, just watch him in highlights, was it more about he's a running to create a pass? Like he's better in the pocket, his movement, his flow?
That's a great point. That's what Fran did. Fran ran Fran would run 50 yards to get 5.
Right.
Because he was waiting for
his
Ahmad or Sammy or somebody to shake loose. Kyler, when it breaks down, he's looking to break your ankles. But I saw this in the offseason watching some All-22. And that's why I said maybe Robert Griffith Jr., would be part of this equation. But like back to Mike Vick, is I can't recall seeing somebody who's so good at this. He's looking at the second guy because he knows he has the ankles broken in front of him. Yeah. So he wants to see the next guy and what I got to do there. Yeah. It's just such a natural gift. In all my years calling Vikings football, I've never seen it.
Yeah, from a defensive standpoint, it's awful to have a guy that be that confident and running the football and knowing what's going to come next. Even in some cases, better than a running back because he has more space.
Right.
I think the interesting part, and something I've always been maybe a little short-sighted on when I'm talking about the quarterback controversy, is you talk about getting Kyler on this really big prove-it deal, come out, I'm going to save my career, I'm going to go have a fresh start, the whole thing.
Yeah.
But now let's look at the other side. A way this matures JJ in this offseason to say this is a slap, like, dude, there's no more screwing around. Like, there's no more of this, hey, we're gonna hand you the keys and we're gonna, this whole 9-bit, this whole, we're gonna be a little bit immature, which I know has had some conversations, some talking points to it.
Yeah.
There's a way to grow up real quick when they bring a guy and say, hey, this is gonna be his job.
But you gotta take it to the other side too. Maybe Kyler needs to grow up.
Yeah.
Maybe there are lack of maturity related things they know about Kyler, where it's like,
well, that's been in his past, right? Yeah. That's been a conversation with Kyler.
We ain't going to tell you you're the number one because you got 80 some odd games and that kid has 10. We're not telling you that. You got to go out and win it.
Now,
big boy JJ is not going down without a fight. Let's pause. Stick around for another segment, okay? Just a shorty around the corner. Jack Greenway, Grey Duck Vodka, and Grey Duck Spirits. 9 to noon is in the air. It's the Friday Football Feast, courtesy of TimberTech, TimberTech.com. What's on deck 9 to noon includes Paul Charchian on the world of fantasy football feasting. Alec Lewis from The Athletic, weekly component, Fridays 9 to noon. He'll be here at 10. Tanner Morgan, one of the great quarterbacks in the history of Golden Gophers football. He'll be in studio at 11 o'clock. I'm Paul Allen. Nordo produces. Nordo got that money.
Yeah, the fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a chance to win some bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. This hour's keyword is dollar. The keyword is dollar. You might win some with the keyword dollar. Just enter it in, not the text line. Enter the keyword dollar in at KFAN.com.
This is 9 to noon on The Fan.
Why pay full price when you can customize?
You're listening to 9 to noon.
I mean, pick your poison with that defense.
I know, right?
Minnesota Vikings quarterback situation. Alec Lewis with The Athletic. He's at every Vikings practice. Great to have him at 10 o'clock today. But Kevin O'Connell was on the popular football morning show, Good Morning Football. Kyle Brandt is part of that show. Kyle hit KO with this about McCarthy, and the coach offered a response. Take a listen.
You guys drafted him when you did. You obviously really, really liked him. He's started just 10 games. Just 10 games, and he's already here competing for his job, and there's this impression that maybe he wasn't given enough opportunity, and a few weeks from now, he may be out of his job, and that it was maybe he didn't get a fair shot at this thing. What's your response to that?
Well, Kyle, I would just say from our standpoint and really the dialogue that I have with J.J. Daly is he's still a very young player in this league. Even the level of, I wouldn't even say scrutiny, but even the tone of the question kind of falls under the category of we want to let him develop and we want to let him continue to grow, and we ultimately want to have him be a guy that can be in a position to help us win football games. But in retrospect, at the same time, many times we're saying we want that right now. And I believe he's a young, talented player with with a ton of upside in front of him. And we can't go backwards and change the past of maybe some of that development time that was lost either in year one or after getting off to a good start, winning a divisional game on the road against the team that won the division in week one last year. he gets hurt and misses some time, and that is not anybody's fault. That's part of the game. That's part of what every team in this league goes through and what every player in this league goes through. So now what we're trying to do is just make sure, always being mindful of his individual development, where we think he is at, and how we can help get him to a place through competition that will be a really good outcome for JJ and the Minnesota Vikings. And it's my job to make sure that we're always doing what we think is best to win football games. And we feel like we have a really talented team. We feel like we have a team with a ton of upside to compete in a really, really difficult division. And we want that across our whole team, and it's not just the quarterback position as we move through training camp.
That was from Good Morning Football. Jamie Erdahl, who's Minnesotan, she actually was doing her part at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center. And when Kyle asked the question, Kevin paused for about 3 to 5 seconds because it was a tough question.
It was a great question.
And Jamie, as Nordo pointed out to me, she's kind of breaking the ice in the middle thing, like,
Not her first time.
Right. So she got the bit. Now O'Connell, he will always drop croutons that get you to the chef salad. You just got to know what you're looking for. The A topic in that, in my estimation, was when he talked about going on the road, winning at Chicago, but then being hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, so that first and foremost on his mind: play, leave, play, leave, play, leave, play, leave, play, leave. That you can't have a quarterback who plays and leaves and plays and leaves. So JJ needs to push through that. But I will rest on, in closing, after your comments, what I've said all offseason. With respect, Kyler Murray has done nothing during his career to earn the right to walk into anybody's facility and say, I'm the guy. And I think he's learning that now. And that's why he's not being told he's the guy. So this is a conundrum. I find it to be incredibly fascinating because I'm not involved in this consternation. I just get to watch it from afar, like be on the top of the hill and watch the battle and come down and shoot the wounded.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening right now.
Yeah. I mean, you laid that out really well. I mean, I think the thing that you don't realize with Kyler is, 5-star recruit, one of the best players in high school football, goes to college, just crushes it, has a great career, comes out high pick. Never been in a situation where things get really greasy and hard. Imagine always being told you're the guy. Imagine always being told there's nobody better. Imagine always being told, like, hey, it's yours. Come on. You're the number one pick. Come on. You're the guy, right? You're the best player in high school football. Now imagine what he's up against now. He's walking into a situation where, there's another high pick, another guy who's been here, done that. He's young. He's got all these things, right? These negatives, but
and
there's
the
a lot of
culture here is not a rodeo like down there Arizona way.
It's not. It's
that thing's
be
a rodeo down there.
Yeah,
man.
we are. I love a good
Fucking
rodeo,
Broncos
but let's just my football team. So KOC's running a ship where he's going to say, listen, I'm not handing you this job. And now how does he respond? Because he's never been told, you're not maybe as good as you think you are, or as good as you've been told your whole life, or as good as that, because he's not earned it. To your point is that you got to go win playoff games. You got to go win these big matchups. You have to be consistent. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here. He'd be in Arizona getting paid $50 million a year. So the point is like he's in this position because he hasn't earned it. Now, how does he respond?
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a really interesting part of this is as JJ pushes hard, and we hope he does, and maybe he wins this job, maybe he's going to outright win it. But as JJ pushes back, what's Kyler's response going to be? And I think that's really an interesting take. And I think from JJ's standpoint, I almost feel like he's the underdog here, right? Which you love being the guy who's the underdog, who's maybe the second right now, right? In people's eyes. Maybe, maybe not. But I mean, I think that's what people are thinking. I'm thinking that's where I think he's at. Without any knowledge of anything.
Most people have been wrong with what they've thought the entire offseason about this, because there was a point with certain media members where, like, O'Connell would say something, and then they would. I said to some, well, you might as well just call O'Connell a liar. Why don't you just go on social media and call him a liar? Because you're saying he's lying. Turns out he wasn't.
Right.
Turns out this is a battle. Turns out this is more 50-50 than people thought. Turns out big boy McCarthy came back looking to win the job. So he's not gonna do the moonwalk and just let the speedy kid from Arizona run away.
Yeah, to your point is like, okay, who's getting those first team reps on every practice though? The guy who gets the ball first.
Yep. Murray on Thursday, Murray on Wednesday, and McCarthy on
and the
Thursday.
Other guys thinking and watching, and there's an internal pressure there within each other to make this to win this, which is in some cases. It's not going to help you win football games because it's a different kind of pressure.
Yeah.
But it's the same type of pressure where it's like, can you play really well in these moments? And you got to have it from day one of training camp.
You're elite.
Yeah, it's great.
You're playing really fast. Great seeing you again. Assumedly, you'll be at the Friday Football Feast when we start that.
Let's do it.
Or at least most of them.
I am, 100%.
Good to see you, brother.
Yep, good to see you.
Chad Greenway, Grey Duck Vodka, Grey Duck Spirits. Paul Charchian joins us for the Fantasy Feel on the Feast next.
This is PA on iHeartRadio.
That's what this team is all about, defense and working hard.
PA and Charch.
What's going on, Charchy?
Hi, Paul. Miss you. Happy to chat again. It's been too long.
Likewise. Love you, bud. At Paul Charchian via X. He's an elite fantasy football mind. Always good hearing from you. How excited do you permit yourself to become this time of the year, given your fantasy prowess?
I love it because right now, everybody's right. All of my takes are good. They're all legitimate takes, Paul. Nothing has been proven wrong right now. And I can go into yet another season telling people to draft Tank Bigsby. And maybe this is the year I'm going to get it right.
You know what? You get more right than you don't. But maybe this is the year Ryan Matthews goes for 1,800 rushing yards and 18 touchdowns, all coming inside the 5. I mean, this might be the year for Ryan Matthews, right?
Well, I think he did that one year, and
I
had been trounced so badly on propping him up for so many years that was the year I was finally off of him, and then Matthews went berserk that season.
All right, myriad fantasy football drafts taking place with August on the horizon. The fan has learned August is tomorrow. I'd like to begin here. With what you know now for those drafting within the next week, maybe week and a half, what do you do with Justin Jefferson?
Well, he's going right now middle of the second round, and that's lower than he had been in 5 years. But it's far better than where he finished last year. So that represents a significant amount of optimism that one way or another we'll see a return to form for Justin Jefferson. And a lot of people are buying the dip, and I don't blame them. We have seen that Kyler Murray, presumed starter, is capable of getting good numbers out of his receivers. If you go, back through 6 seasons, he actually had pretty decent and high scoring receivers. So the presumptions that the passing offense will continue to go through JJ, and that we will get far more consistency this year under Kyler Murray. And if you can get him in the middle of second round, I'm on board with that ADP. That feels about right, Paul.
What about Kenneth Walker Jr. in Kansas City? What do you do with him?
Love him. I'll tell you what you do with him. You draft Kenneth Walker. This is a major opportunity right now to buy relatively low on a really good running back. I mean, what I think the majority of people didn't know before the Super Bowl when Kenneth Walker went berserk is that dude's awesome. He is a really, really good running back, and he's the only game in town in Kansas City, Paul. And this is a team that we think it's a Patrick Mahomes-led team that they don't, and it is, but that they don't do anything else at the stripe outside of let Patrick Mahomes go find points, throwing to Travis Kelce, whatever. But really, can be a very diverse offense. When you go back far enough into the background with Andy Reid, you do see that he'll use power runners when he has them. And Kenneth Walker is so much better than Amari DiMercato and Brashard Smith, and even our local guy Emmett Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna get a lot of run in this offense. He'll be very successful. Patrick Mahomes is coming back off major injury. We're gonna see a lot of usage from Ken Walker. I love him. He's my running back 8 right now.
Bo Nix was such a fantasy factor last season. Now, off the injury, do you think he's going to run as much as he did last year? Because that clearly was the separator.
Yeah, no. I'm very nervous about Bo Nix. He had a lot of dud games last year, and they just didn't run him enough, Paul. He scrambled. It's okay. So if you go back 2 years ago, a lot of design runs for Bo Nix, and we all thought that was going to continue. Then last year came, very few designed runs,
and very little goal line work. And he was just scrambling. You'd have to get what you got from his scrambling, which some games was pretty good. He'd throw up 40, 50 scrambling yards in a game, but because they weren't designed, you didn't know when they'd come. And there were games where he didn't pass well and didn't run, and Bo Nix really hurt your team. Right now, I've got him at quarterback 14 on the presumption that he's going to get better. They added some pieces to some weaponry in the among the receivers in Denver as well, which I think ultimately could help him with Jalen Waddle now there, Cortland Sutton, Troy Franklin's a year older, Marvin Mims a year older, Pat Bryant's a year older. So he's got plenty of targets. I want to believe that we'll get more consistency out of him this year than last year for Bo Nix.
Hey, Charch, from fantasy to reality, camp underway, of course, from Egan, and I assume you're watching this from afar. So what do you want to see in terms of just being, and the quarterback is a conversation in its own right, but just things you're excited to learn more about, things you want to see from the team as they get these practices rolling?
Caleb Banks, right? It's great that he's practicing. It's great in terms of that it looks like he's healthy. He's getting first team reps, which I love. I want to see more about the player that most of us didn't have pegged to the Vikings at the draft in April, and learn more about him and see what he can really do. And this is going to be his ability to be great this year is going to carry a lot of weight with this defense. And so Caleb Banks to me is 1A on what I want to see outside of the quarterback play. And then, also Dominique Orange he could get first team reps. And I want to see if he's going to be somebody that's going to create a real challenge to get reps first team and how early into this season. And if you ask me if Dominique Orange is getting a lot of reps by the end of the year, I think the answer could be yes. And we could be looking at him as a potential starter. And so I'm really excited to learn more about Dominique Orange as well.
It's kind of the way that we talk about Brian Flores, names, the names not necessarily mattering as much as, well, B-Flow's going to figure it out, right? So we got a couple of rookies on the defensive front. Jamal Adams, kind of this wild card factor out of nowhere, but, depth. Depth for B-Flow's bunch. Big year for Dallas Turner. Before we get to the offensive side of things, what do you think about Dallas Turner's opportunity this year?
Well, he's got to make good on the glimpses that we saw, especially last year. Now it's a full-time role, right? So, you can't, he was certainly eased into the job, and now he's got to be on the field a ton, and I'm optimistic. We started to see glimmers of the versatility that we want. And ultimately, I think when you look at the college production, the draft equity, and what Brian Flores brings to the table, you feel like Dallas Turner should be sitting on just a breakout year.
Yeah.
And it's so important that he stays healthy and can do that. Behind him, things are pretty thin. And so I'm extremely optimistic on Turner and Van Ginkel too. We, just talking about our edges for a minute, just got to stay healthy. We need 14 games out of Andrew Van Ginkel and ideally a full season. And, those are things that for a team, you touched on it, Nordo and PA, when you were gone, 2 weeks ago, last week.
Yeah.
Eric and I talked, just the depth on this team is just, to me, is like storyline number one is we got to find players that can back up our starters if they need meaningful reps. Injuries will happen. And this team's, the players behind most of our starters across most of the positions are very unproven. And so getting confidence in a lot of those unknown players and the ability for them to play real reps when needed is going to be another storyline for us.
The Ravens joint practices in a couple of weeks, the rubber's going to meet the road on a lot of those topics that you just brought up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's, you'll start seeing some, real play out of those guys. And that'll be fun. I like that they chose the Ravens as well. The Ravens bring a lot of different things to the table, and that's a team in flux too, obviously changing head coaches. And, I don't think you're going to see a lot of Derrick Henry, but it'll be nice to have Rashad Bateman back home for a little bit.
Great hearing you again. I look forward to having you on the radio program during the course of the football season. God bless you, Roxy, and your family, and we'll chat soon, okay?
I'm looking forward to it, Paul. Bye-bye.
That's Paul Charch. I'm Alec Lewis from The Athletic joins 9 to noon next.
This is 9 to noon, live on iHeartRadio and KFAN, The Fan.
From the 1-800